could study for 4 days and a half and still fail. But today I'm going to show you guys the method on how to actually do well and how to like study properly.
Hi there beautiful person, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am the Nddy Celestine. If you aren't subscribed, please take a moment and subscribe down below. Turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified each and every single time I drop a new video. Subscription is completely free, guys. So let's get right into today's video. I post study tips and tricks here on my channel to help you ace your studies and your exams. But today I want to make things a little bit more interesting by bringing you this in-depth study tutorial from Letitia on TikTok, who explains how you can ace your studies and exams even if you think you are not a genius. Let's take a look. I'll be back with my thoughts.
I was not born a genius, but I do know how to study, so I'm going to tell you the secrets on how to literally do well on a course just by studying and not being a genius. Because I have like for real friends who are like literal, like absolute geniuses. Like they look at something and they could just like memorize it. I'm not like that. I could study for 4 days and a half and still fail. But today I'm going to show you guys the method on how to actually do well and how to like study properly. Okay, and so I study science topics, so these are all science topics. I separated all of these topics by either practice or memorization. So in practice you have math, physics, and chemistry problems, and then in memorization you have like biophysiology, anatomy, psychology, all of these topics. And before I get into the video, just know that all of this requires understanding. You can't make notes without understanding. You can't further your learning if you don't understand. I struggled so much with biology because I literally never understood. I didn't even care about the fucking function of a cell. Like, I didn't give a flying fuck. Once I actually sat down and learned the basics and understood what I was doing, it was so much easier to learn the material. So yeah, you're not gonna get away with it if you just make notes and you study blindly. Understand the shit first and then make notes. Anyway, so for practice-based courses like math, physics, and like chemistry problems, you do not need any notes. Like when I mean like notes, like yeah, take notes when you go to class, whatever the fuck, but you don't need to be making any like annotated notes. You don't need that. What you need are method sheets. I do this on paper, but you could do it on your computer. Method sheets is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna put the title of whatever you're gonna be doing. So you could be like differentiating function, and then you're gonna put how to do it. So like the general like method on how to differentiate a function, and then you're gonna put an example. So when you get to the point where you have like your exam and you have to study for it, you'll have all of these method sheets made with the topic, the application method, and then the problem. So you won't have to like, you know, struggle to look through your notes and like be confused on how to do it because you'll have the method sheets. So then you'll have a stack of method sheet with literally everything you would need, like integrating a function, differentiating, you know, whatever the fuck. But that doesn't just stop there. What you need to do to actually do well is practice. I don't care if you're lazy or whatever. Get your ass on those fucking practice problems. If the teacher assigns them, it's for a reason. Just do them. Like you literally have no excuse not to do them. They're right there. The textbook is right there. The answers key is right there. Just do the problems. Trust me, I did the problems and I literally scored 100% on my calc exams. Just do the assigned problems, just understand, just do the method sheets. Don't need to make any notes. Once you do the method sheets and you mastered the art of knowing how to solve the problem, you're done. You're set. Full marks. Okay, moving on to memorization topics, trust that I know the method because I was genuinely like the dumbest child I've ever met. Like I was actually an idiot. And the reason why is because I didn't know how to study these like memorization content because it was so much to learn and I just didn't know how to. So the most crucial aspect is to make notes that you understand. Do not type down what the professor says verbatim and then copy them onto a document. Do not do that. Do not make notes where you just annotate them and then highlight them. Stop. What you need to be doing, I don't care if it's ugly or not, what you need to be doing is rewording it in your own words. If it's a definition, whatever. If it's a concept, just write it in your own terms. If you understand, you should be able to do it in your own terms. It shouldn't be like an extra task. So by putting in your own words, you go to class, you type down what the professor says. He has his slides, you type down the slide says. You come home and you write it down or you type it down. You make your own notes. I don't have the same document for my lecture notes, class notes, reading notes, and study notes. I don't have the same document for any of that. Okay, so for example, physiology. I had my lecture notes. So I have the video recordings where I did my lecture notes, and then I have my revision notes. This is just like a notebook with all of like everything that was like concepts. And then you illustrate everything. You draw it and you write it in your own words so that when you have to like recall this on an exam, you won't have to recall the slides, which will obviously be blurry with no content on it because you can't remember the slides on an exam. But you will remember what you wrote because you wrote it in your own words on your own notebook, like on your own iPad, like it's yours. Like you will know how to remember that. So stop with the fake note takings. If you're going to take notes, you might as well just do it well because if you're not going to do it well, just don't do them. There's literally no point in you typing down what the professor says if you're not going to retain it. Case in point, just make your own notes. Take what he says, put it so that you can understand it and on another document and then go from there. And also, I will never advocate for flashcards. Like, I think Quizlet is lit. Like, I think flashcards are cool, but they just don't work for me. And if flashcards don't work for you, that's, like, the most regular thing. Because, I don't know, like, and then you end up with, like, 106 flashcards. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to go through that. No thanks. And so, literally, the best way to actually, like, learn, like, the memorization stuff, take your notes, copy paste them onto ChatGPT, and ask them to write 20 multiple choice questions. Keep doing it until ChatGPT has given you the same questions with the same answers and you can correct ChatGPT. Because what I do is I will take my notes, paste them into ChatGPT, give me 20 multiple choice questions. I will answer all of them. And then because I know the material so well, I'll be like, this is wrong. And it'll be like, oh, sorry for the confusion. You are right. Once you can like actually correct ChatGPT on the knowledge-based question, you're done. Like, you know, you actually acquired the material. And then also, this is for long-term studying. This is for like daily studying. If you want to cram material, I have a method for you. Actually, I have two. And trust that this works, because that one time I went blind on a Wednesday and I had my final on a Thursday. That was not cute. And I crammed half a semester, like 58 pages, fully written of notes. And I crammed that from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. and I scored an A in that course. So I know what I'm talking about. What you're going to do is Mind Palace. What Mind Palace is, visualize a place that you know very well. Like, familiarize yourself with a place. If it's going to be your room, like your current room, you probably already know what's in there, okay? I just took my like house in Hong Kong because it was like a final and I needed a big place. Anyway, take the house, take wherever you live. You're gonna walk into the place and you're gonna like start visualizing the place, okay? Once you start visualizing the place, start attaching random objects and random walls in the room or like in the house with just concepts. So basically, I would visualize my place. Come inside, right side, I just place like 3 slides, a description. At turn left, there's a door. I'd place more slides. Basically, you're just gonna do it so that the slides aren't like actual slides. It's just notes, but in a house. Just trust me on this. People do this. Like Sherlock Holmes apparently does this. I don't know. Anyway, trust that this works. Pretend like you're going to the bathroom and there's a blue cup. I'm gonna associate this blue cup with like a random topic in biology. And then from then on, if I see that topic on the exam and it sounds familiar, because obviously everything on a multiple choice question sounds always familiar, but you never know what it is. Once it sounds familiar, instead of looking back onto that 45th page of your 504 page of notes document, you're just gonna look back onto the blue cup. Like, you're gonna be like, oh, I know this. It's the blue cup in the bathroom. And then from there on, with the external cues from the same room where you all you placed your stuff, it's gonna be super easy to remember what you associated the blue cup with. And that's literally the reason why this method works, because instead of like having to like, you know, recall the information from like a slide you literally have never seen in your life, you just associate it to something you know so well, and it's gonna come to you, like, it's just gonna come to you. And then lastly, I hate that I'm advocating for this strategy, but it works really well, and it's called blurting. I've been blurting without knowing I've been blurting for like a while now. Basically, blurting, I like do it I do it written and then I like say it out loud. And I know people are like, that's a Feynman technique where you like explain it to a child. I'm not explaining anything. I'm blurting it. How to do it? You have your sheet of paper. You're just gonna memorize it verbatim, and then you're gonna write it down. But you're gonna write it down without your original notes. And let me show you guys. This is literally my blurting document. Like, this was what I did. And yeah, it's not cute. Like, it's just like extra notes where you just like keep writing until you remember everything. And you're gonna tell yourself, I don't want to be doing that. That's so time consuming. Like, yeah, it is strenuous and arduous. But if you want to pass, that's what you got to do. If you're gonna be last minute cramming, I don't think you have a choice. This is what you're gonna be doing. You're just gonna learn, and then you're gonna blurt. And if you're gonna gaslight yourself into believing that you already know the material, just trust that you don't. You're gonna get to the exam hall and you're gonna be like, ugh, why didn't I study this slide? And if I go back to the topic of like doing your own notes, make sure that the notes for the topics that you like are doing actually like make sense. Like, make sure that like for math, you're not making outlines, or like for chemistry, you're not making like a mind map with pictures. I don't know. Just make sure that it's an easy method where when you look back at your notes, you're gonna know what you did and why you did that. If I look here, this is how I did it. I did it by like lecture. So this was on the cytoskeleton in first year. So then I had all of the cytoskeleton like this, and then when I went down, I had that. But then for biochemistry, I had flashcards with the amino acids, and then I had the actual notes where I would just, these are like revision sheets, where I had like every like metabolic process written down on a sheet. But yeah, I typically don't have the same note format for my courses, because like you need different formats, and just find the format that works well for that course, that corresponds to what you would be able to like actually retain on the exam. If a method doesn't work for you, let it go. Like, don't pretend like flashcards work for you just because they work for everyone else. Let them go. If you think a mind map isn't the way to go, then don't do a mind map. Find your own note format and just roll with it.
I hope you found this helpful. I'm a student too, so this helped me out a lot. I hope you took down notes. I hope you took down all those gems that she dropped. If you want more study tips, don't forget to check out my channel for more study content, or you check out my description box for a study tips playlist. So yeah guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Please give this video a thumbs up. Drop in the comment section which of these study tips is your favorite, and also subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified each and every single time I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.